What have you, like, what's your world been like the past month?
I have to be honest with you, Barb. In my entire 23 years here, I never thought I would ever experience anything like this. We are essential because the animals can't feed themselves, take care of themselves, clean up after themselves. So we're here 365 days a year. And, we've seen a little bit of both ends of the rainbow, really. We had to stop our volunteer program, so that hurts. We don't have the animals don't get as much hands-on attention or socialization or exercise, and that's not good. So our donations have gone down, of course, because people don't know what's coming in their life. So
Exactly.
we understand. Yeah, we
It's a crazy
understand.
time. But what people might be surprised is, because people have more free time right now, you've actually seen a growth in adoptions, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Our foot traffic for adoptions, we're following the social distance guidelines and doing what we call curbside adoptions. And we're allowing one person or one family in at a time. And we've actually, the last 2 weeks, set records. Week before last, we had 103 adoptions. And last week, we had 106 adoptions. And it looks like, honestly, this week is on track to be the same way. And people are at home, so what better time to adopt something and get it acclimated in their family, and I think it gives the family something to do different too, because everybody's getting a little bored.
Yes.
So that part of it has been absolutely wonderful for us.
Okay, do you have enough animals?
The intakes for a couple of weeks had slowed down because I think people were nervous to get out, and but unfortunately, we're starting to see those rise. But honestly, I know this sounds really weird. We're kind of glad to see them going up, because we were extremely fearful of what was going to happen in a month or 2 months when these restrictions were lifted, that we would just get these extreme influx of animals. And we still really believe that's going to happen, because they're not at normal numbers by any means.
Well, so is it going to be these people who during the self-isolation that adopted, you think a lot of those are going to have second thoughts and say, okay, we need to take this animal back?
Right. I don't. We don't have a huge return percentage. And I think, honestly, these adoptions are going to work out even better, because the families being at home have more time to work with either behavioral issues or housebreaking issues, socialization. So I really feel like this time period will be better. And we offer what's called a slumber party program too, which is really, really neat. We know not every animal is the right fit for people. So we let them take them home on a slumber party and keep them for 2, 3, 4 days. And if it doesn't work, they can come pick out another one. And if it does, that's great. But it relieves the pressure of having to sign the dotted line before the adoption.
Yeah, it's like a little trial period.
Exactly.
So, okay, the big question is, we heard where a tiger in the Bronx Zoo tested positive for COVID-19. We still know so little about this terrible virus. What do you say to people who worry that there could be some transmission through an animal, through a pet?
Right. I think everybody right now, our minds have time to overthink things. And I'm an overthinker anyway, but we follow the CDC and the ABMA guidelines every single day. And we read up, and there has been no proof whatsoever of an animal to human transmission. The tigers in the Bronx were, they believe, a human to animal. But coronavirus has actually been around in animals for quite some time. It's a different strain. So when you go to the veterinarian and get your vaccines, the C in that vaccine is for coronavirus. And it's, of course, not what we're dealing with right now. Right. But we aren't worried about that at all. There are millions and millions and millions of animals right now. And we're just telling people, if you have the virus, use caution, of course, being around people and your pets. And that's hard for people because their pet is their comfort, but your pet is way more likely to get the virus from you than vice versa. But I think that's such a minute possibility from what the ABMA says that science proves, we're really not worried about that.
Well, thank you so much for what you're doing in these crazy, crazy times, for what you do 365 days a year at the Bowling Green Warren County Humane Society. Okay, now get your coffee, because we always ask our guests, if you had the opportunity, living or dead, to have coffee with anyone, who would you choose?
Oh my goodness.
Don't overthink.
I think I would have to say my mom.
Oh, I love that. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers, cheers, cheers. Thank you so much. This is Coffee Near Me from my dining room. And remember, you can keep the conversation going. Who would you like to sit down with and have a cup of coffee? Let us know. Thanks, Lorri.
Thank you, Barb.